Fidel Castro was very intelligent, okay? Very articulate. He had complete control of communication skills because I've listened to some of his speeches also. And as much as I did not like him because of all the things that he made my family go through, um, you have to admit that the man was sharp, intelligent.
And an attorney.
He was an
Was
attorney, and you know, they were these folks that controlled the Spanish language to such an extent that they would not allow themselves to be trapped in a corner. Okay, they were smooth operators,
yeah.
and they knew history, and they were able to manipulate certain aspects of history to create doubt
A storyline.
in everybody's mind, including my own. I think they were one of the smartest up and down all of Latin America. And that's why you see that a lot of people uh, sided with them because they had this Robin Hood mentality. You know, you take from the rich and you give to the poor, and you equate everybody, you bring everybody up to the level, you know.
Yeah.
The problem was that it wasn't true. They took from the rich, gave a little bit to the poor, and kept most of them to themselves. Okay?
Which is what they were trying to, let's say, get rid of the corruption that was in the previous regime government,
Which there was.
which there was, and they ended up falling into that too. You hear some of Castro's kids are extremely wealthy on yachts, and then you hear that the government officials, what they were, had tons of money. And when Fidel first came out, because he came to, I think, or he went to the United Nations, and he was looking for an ally in the United States as well. He came to the United, and I remember hearing a speech where he's saying that he was not communist.
Correct.
He was saying that he was not, and then it changed. But this is after he already took power.
Yes.
And it's interesting because you see it in Hugo Chavez also. They asked him if he was socialist, communist. Now, when Fidel Castro ended up taking over, and then it ended up becoming communism, at that point maybe it was too late for some people. They couldn't get out anymore. They couldn't, because one of the advantages that we had was that your mom got wind of something happening early on, right? She worked for a family that told her, hey, this is communism, get out of here. Before, maybe when it was occurring, or was it after, or was it soon after?
They got out the timeline. Okay. It had to be in the midst of it. So it was either just prior to or just after taking power. Okay? And there are some things that the books don't tell you that the countrymen lived. For example, I haven't seen anywhere, or, you know, Fidel Castro came to the United States and asked for help. The rumor is, or what happened was, that he wasn't treated very respectfully.
Right.
Okay? They didn't give him any attention whatsoever. He didn't even get to meet the president. Okay?
Right.
So they treated him like a very low-lying nobody.
Right.
And this was a very proud, intelligent, articulate man that knew that he had great control. And so when he left, he made it a point to be a thorn
Yeah.
in the United States
Foot.
foot,
In the shoe.
in the shoe. And he did everything within his power to really give the U.S. a very difficult time, and he was extremely successful. Because if you look over the history
Yeah.
of the CIA and stuff like that, there were multiple attempts to kill Fidel Castro,
Right.
and many of them failed. And I'll tell you that some of those attempts are not on the books, because there were bombs going off in Cuba in different places where the Castro's caravan was coming, and he had doubles and triples that looked like him. And a couple of those got killed off. And where do you read that stuff?
Right.
You don't read it anywhere. I mean, why would I know this? Because of the rumors that have come down, because the countrymen, there was this thing called Alpha 66, where they were going to go fight.
The Bay of Pigs and all that.
No, Bay of Pigs, it wasn't Bay of Pigs. I think this was after the Bay of Pigs. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was. I'll tell you this is of no consequence now, but my mom was always extremely cautious of being associated with people that were doing something against the government. She wanted to stay within the lines of, she wanted to help the Cuban people, but she didn't want to break the laws here. And, there were households that had ammunitions and guns and things of this nature
Yeah.
hiding in their closets.